name's Mary, welcome to my channel. This time I'm going to read a book that changed Adele's life. Adele is without a doubt my favorite singer, and so I wanted to make a video reading her favorite books. But when I googled Adele favorite books, every single article was about this one book, and every single article claimed that it changed her life. So I guess I don't really have any other options right now. Unfortunately for me, it's a self-help book, and I have a couple of prejudices against them. I just have a feeling that they're all kind of similar, being like, just smile more, travel, think about good things. But alright, if it changed Adele's life, then I'll give it a go. So the book is called Untamed, Stop Pleasing, Start Living. The author is Glennon Doyle. Judging by the name, it is probably a book for someone who tends to help everyone except themselves. So maybe this book helped Adele deal with that, but we'll see, maybe I'm completely wrong. So without further ado, let's go. Listening to an audiobook right now on Audible, who were so kind to sponsor today's video. Okay, just kidding. They wouldn't be bothered. So far, unfortunately, I haven't heard anything that I didn't know already. What I have heard is a phrase, "I am a goddamn cheetah," 30 times approximately. The book at this point is just like memoir. I guess that's what it's gonna be. The author is describing different moments of her life. There was a very weird scene where she was talking about how in school someone came to tell kids about how people are made. And they told them that women called women because they came out of men's womb men, and that's why it's woman. Huh? Yeah, it had some good points that were interesting, but also it had some very weird and lame conversations. For example, there was one moment that was so stupid, I remembered it word for word. The author was retelling a conversation that she had with her daughter. And so the daughter says something like, "Mommy, when I have no thoughts in my brain, I go to shower and immediately different ideas are coming into my head. Maybe it's water or something." And she responded, "Yeah, it could be water, but I think what you're doing is thinking." Huh? Her daughter asked. "Well, it's something that folks did before Google. It's like Googling your own brain." And her daughter said, "Oh, cool. Girl, you could use a little bit more language here." This conversation cannot be real. I am very sure that the author came up with it, which was when she was writing the book, because I don't care how old was her daughter at the moment of this conversation. She could have figured out what thinking means. I think this is my problem with self-help books. They try to be so relatable for as much people as they can, that they use too much like of slang words and simple language that they forget to read at least a little bit interesting and more different. There was a good point about shower gel differences between men shower gels and women's, that shower gels for men are like 3 times bigger, and they're almost as if they're preparing people for war, being like, shower gel with acid, fire, ice, and shards of glass, only for real man. And women's shampoos are like, with flowers, fairy spits, stardust. Yeah, fair enough. But again, I've heard this point made 100 times before. Not that interesting, to be completely honest with you. I'm listening on a 3x speed. So yeah, I'll catch up later. completely honest with you, I'm kind of tired of listening to an audiobook. I heard so many phrases that everyone on Tumblr already heard 100 times, being like, I am me. I am free. There is no one besides me who will ever be with me.
Who cares?
Then she also had a conversation with her daughter, and her daughter said to her something like, Mom, I'm afraid I'm gonna lose you. And she responded, you are gonna lose Mommy. You're never gonna lose you.
Bruh.
Thanks, love. Then she was describing someone and she said, my first reaction was, who does she think she is? My second reaction was, she is a goddamn cheetah. Leave this poor cheetah alone. Well, I'm sorry to think that this book is completely not for me, and I am definitely not aimed to be her main audience, because in this book she talked about getting through divorce, childbirth, child growth, having a drinking problem, and I'm not even of legal age to drink or get married. BRB. I bought some beads and I made some jewelry. Look, here with the little leaves and the mushrooms. I also made another one with the leaves and the mushrooms. I also bought a couple of postcards, let me show you. Final conclusion, too millennial to handle. I figured out at last what was wrong with me reading this book, and it is that I'm clearly not the one who this book was written for. Let's hear what Adele has to say about this book on her Instagram. If you're ready, this book will shake your brain and make your soul scream. I'm so ready for myself after reading this book. It's as if I just flew into my body for the very first time. Anyone who has any kind of capacity to truly let go and give into yourself with any kind of desire to hold on for dear life, do it. Read it. Live it. Practice it. We are a lot, but we are meant to be a lot. A good life is a hard life. Read this book and have a highlighter on hand to make notes because you'll want to refer back to it, trust me. I never knew that I am solely responsible for my own joy, happiness and freedom. Who knew our own liberation liberates those around us? Cause I didn't. I thought we were meant to be stressed and disheveled, confused and selfless like a Disney character. Probably found? You're an absolute Don Glennon. Okay, well, I'm glad for Adele. I'm glad that it changed her life in this way and she found her joy and freedom in life. Obviously, it's a good side of this memoir. Well, it was partly a memoir, partly just like author's thoughts on different topics. She said the phrase, I'm a goddamn cheetah, one last time, just for the good measure. Well, okay, I spoke a lot about bad sides of this book, but I don't want this video to be that negative, because some chapters unraveled different topics such as sexism, racism, and I'm sure there were a lot of good advices about how to raise your children the best way possible to make them as free as they can be. A big part of this book was describing how she met, fell in love with and married her current wife. So good for her. After finishing, I went on Goodreads, as one does, and there was a good review saying, I'm not the target audience for this book, but I'm glad she found her path and a loving partner. Couldn't have said it better myself. Favorite quote is probably this one. The more powerful, successful and happy a man becomes, the more people trust and like him. But the more powerful and happy a woman becomes, the less people like and trust her. Overall, this was a weird experience. I've never read a self-help book before. I'm probably not gonna read more of them anytime soon. But again, I'm glad it helped Adele in a way. I'm glad for Glennon herself. I guess the question is, did it change my life? Well, certainly not. But I guess there isn't that much in my life to change, because this book again was about like divorce, finding your like partner for life and raising your children. I don't have any of that. So that was it. Thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate it. If you want, you can follow me on Goodreads and follow my Instagram account where I post my drawings. See you next time. Bye. Bye.